I swear to God, it has to be one of the dumbest horror movies I've ever seen. So I saw Truth or Dare the other day, and oh my God! This movie, like I said in the intro, has to be one of the dumbest horror movies I think I've ever seen. It's just a paint by number. You know what? Let's get into what it's about. This movie stars Lucy Hale and Tyler Posey. Lucy Hale from Pretty Little Liars and Tyler Posey from Teen Wolf. And this horror movie about this group of friends. They are going on their last spring break to Mexico to party it up. Lucy Hale meets a guy named Carter in a bar, and he's like, "Hey, you guys wanted to do something really crazy?" So they go to this old Mexican church, and they decide to play Truth or Dare. And it turns out, though, that once they play Truth or Dare in this location, the game becomes real, and if you refuse to tell the truth, you die. If you refuse to do your dare, you'll die. And if you refuse to play in general, you die. And every time there's two truths, the next person has to do a dare. And chaos ensues, I guess. Well, what did I not like about the movie? Because I'll rather get into that. The characters are terrible. Every character you're supposed to feel sorry for, they're shitty people. So how do you sympathize with someone or a character when they're really not that good to begin with? And I mean every character. Some are worse than others. Like one of the characters named Tyson makes a joke about one of the characters, right after they see one of the other characters die, makes a joke right after one of them dies. And I'm like, dude, like, I hope you die. Like, really, it gets to a point where, like, you kind of hope they die, and it's a shame because this actually is a good premise. Like, you see, like, this premise has a lot of potential, but when it's tossed away like this, like, it's just hard. It's hard to really get behind. And I mean, you have the two big actors, and Lucy Hale and Tyler Posey driving the movie. I mean, their characters are fine, I guess, but a lot of this dialogue that these characters spout, not necessarily from those two, but from all the other characters, you're like, oh my God, like, this is awful. And the problem that I have with this movie is that, you know, if it would have gone full R and, like, actually, like, made the deaths interesting, then it would have had, like, you know, a little touch of Final Destination. It would have been interesting to watch. But no, we got to get that PG-13 audience because we got to please those 15 and 16-year-olds that definitely know what it's like to be in college and have a spring break. There's not a positive thing I can really say about this movie other than, like, the aesthetics. Like, it's shot okay, and the cinematography is decent, but really, there's nothing really redeemable about this movie. I mean, let's get into the deaths. None of them are really that spectacular or cool or even really creative. There's some plot holes that really don't make any sense. Like, for example, they when they're investigating the Mexican church, like the history of the Mexican church in the movie, they come across this woman who kind of knows the backstory of it, which she's in Mexico, has been in Mexico for most of her life, if not all of her life, and can speak and write in perfect English. How is that possible? If she's been in Mexico, unless someone taught her, which that's never established, you would assume that she doesn't speak English. Like, there's little plot holes like that. And some of the characters, like, there's so many things that could have made this better. Like, the ending. Me and Allie both came up with better endings than that. Both came up with better endings. And I mean, I know what the ending does, what the ending symbolized. The ending symbolized, like, oh, it came full circle from a line that's in the very beginning of the movie. Doesn't make it any better. In fact, it doesn't solve the problem. It actually makes the problem worse. I don't get how this movie faltered from such a very good premise, because this actually had potential. Like I said, Lucy Hale, Tyler Posey, they're fine, but outside of that, this movie just sucked. I mean, there's nothing I can give better for it than a 4 out of 10. It's not an enjoyable movie. It's boring, it's stupid, and it's one of those middle-of-the-road horror movies that come out literally every year, whether it's in January or around Halloween, but we got blessed with this one in April! Oh, God. Don't go see this movie. It is such a waste of time. Don't do this to yourself. Alright, thank you everyone for watching my review. If I click right here, you'll see my last review. And click my face right down below, subscribe, that'd be awesome. I try to upload at least once a week, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!